it's it's kind of been a continuation from the spring ball. I think the kids did a great job in the summer of getting out there on their own and just recalling, re-repping, all our calls, all our base calls. So when we started in fall, we were so much more ahead than where we were the first day of spring, of course. Because of that, I think we were able to pick up and play with a lot more confidence early on than we did when we first implemented the defense in the spring. So it's a process. We've got a lot of practices left to go, and we need every one of them.
One of the guys who it seems has had a good spring taken into the fall is Devon Brown. What really stands out to you about his game?
Well, from the first day I stepped in here, I could just tell he's got that look in his eye. He's hungry. He's always chirping our language, if that makes sense. It's a culture. We have our own language we speak in, and he's in my office. He's not my position player, but he's just earning for knowledge. He wants to be very good. I don't know what the heat index was today. Well into the hundreds. It was the hottest day since I've been in here. This old man here, they had started spinning today out there. So I'm like, these guys are running around like they are. So I was impressed. The reason I brought that up is he's the guy that's pushing them. He's the vocal leader of the defense by far.
Coach, Kiki, about a week ago, called the defense the mob, saying that it's aggressive and it's this, I think someone used the word authentic toughness. Do you see that out of the defense so far, even if it's just kind of early?
It's day to day. I didn't see it today. Like I told him after today, the other side of the ball's in the same element you are, whether it's heat, cold, doesn't matter. I'm good with that. Just be careful. When you say something and claim it, you better own it every day. So you better bring it every day. But he's had a good camp. I'm not getting down on him. It's just the whole group. If you come up with those things, that's good, but you better back it up.
You faced Chris Robinson last year in the Charlotte game, and obviously wasn't here in the spring. But just as a defensive coordinator, what stands out to you about him at quarterback? We have some good ones now, so I lose track of who's in there. But just since you brought it up from last year's breakdown, I thought, always said in the scouting report, he had a lot of poise. I don't think he got flustered. He had some balls last year on the money. They moved the ball on us, and it's because of him not getting rattled. He stood in there and took a shot a couple of times and threw some nice deep over routes, put him on the money. So yeah, I've got a lot of respect for him. And he was out in the spring, so I've gotten a good chance to get to know him a little bit this camp. Not I don't see him much, but I always like to stick my head and have them guys rib me a little bit, and I rib them. So he's a competitor. Yeah, he's going to win a lot of games for us.
Another player who's had a really good fall transitioning from spring is TJ Young. What have you seen out of him that kind of makes him an important part of this defense?
TJ, I'm glad you brought it up. If I had to say a guy that needed to come through for us, that so far, again, it's day to day. He could go down there tomorrow and whatever. But so far this spring, he's come along. This fall, he's come a long way since the spring. He's just got more focused. He had some academic issues he took care of, and when you get behind in life, it affects you on the field. You get behind in the little things you do day to day, it catches up with you on the field, and I think that's what happened to him in the spring. So hopefully he's gotten over the hump there, and he's on top of his world, so he can go out there and leave all the distractions behind, and he's had a good camp.
Coach, last year you weren't here. Defense had a great fall, looked like it was ready to dominate, and then just struggled throughout the season. And I'm wondering, as a coordinator, the defense looks really good again thus far. How do you know whether it's your guys playing well or maybe the offense is struggling and that's kind of making you look good? How do you determine stuff like that?
I can't comment on last year, but
Right.
just for doing this for about 30 years, it all works together. It really bothers me, when one side of the ball gets singled out, because people have no idea, me being where I'm at, how the offensive play and what they do, how it affects us, and vice versa. All of a sudden, we get the offense some short fields, and it all works together. They get some drives, burn some clock, we rest. We get a couple, quick 3 and outs. We give them field position. So people need to examine that before they start chirping about one side of the ball to the other, and just beware, because I'll bring that out to you guys if as we go along through this thing.
Were you pleased with the way you guys performed, especially in the first half of Saturday?
First drive, I was hot because of the 3 penalties. We got off the field with no points, but here's what that does. First drive of the game, you were on the field for 13 snaps. So yes, it's great, we kept them out of the end zone, but that right there has a big toll on the rest of the day. First drive momentums are big. First drive of the game, first drive of the third quarter. I think if you broke it down statistically, if you have success on those first 2, you have a good chance of winning the game. I don't know that for a fact. Look it up. You can call me a liar next week, but that's just what I feel.
Do you attribute those penalties just to over-eagerness or lack of focus?
Well, one of our veteran players would have had a targeting, got ejected, had a discipline on a 3rd down on a hard count, and didn't see the ball. And the PI was a combat PI, combat penalty. Those are going to happen sometimes. It was going to be a touchdown or it was going to be a 15-yarder. You don't want either,
Yeah.
but if somebody gets behind you that far, let's keep them out of the end zone for that play and let's let the play another down, right? But it was a technique issue that got him in that spot.
Coach, the defensive line forced a couple turnovers on Saturday, including the Noah Jefferson interception. What have you seen out of them throughout spring that can kind of, in spring and fall, that can kind of allow them to make maybe the most important impact come Ohio State and then on?
It catches me at a bad time because we just came off the field of 100 plus whatever day, and I thought we were lacking some juice. So I'm not pleased right now. But that being said, we have enough guys there that can get a good rotation and can win a lot of games for us. It's all about mental toughness up front. I played up there. It's the toughest guys on the team. I told them that first meeting. I separated them out of the room and I said, listen, it's all on you guys. You're getting hit from the right, left, the high and low. We're asking you to turn and sprint to the ball every snap. We're asking you to make plays outside the numbers. Get a fast tempo offense. You got to sprint back to the huddle, and you got to be disciplined enough to stay on sides. You got to hear the call, hear the assignment, and all the time you got about 600 pounds hitting you on every snap. So we got to get them tougher.
You've got a chance to look at some of the new guys now. Are you still experimenting with guys and what position they're going to play or their role, or are you past that yet, or is that still going on?
No, and you know what happens when you get some guys dinged up, it can create that, which is good. As a coach, you got to get locked in, and it's not right. So, we had a couple injuries from Saturday, so a couple of guys were sitting. So today, you move the depth chart around, and it'll benefit you in 2 or 3 weeks because those guys that you haven't seen play much, that are going to play for you in the fall, they had to get reps today. And, they weren't perfect by far. It was far off from the guy that got hurt, but it's great learning tool for those guys. So we are still trying to create some depth, and there's some good competition in some spots that roll with the ones. So
how much of your defense is installed now? Are you still doing any of that, or is it?
No, we're still installing a little bit. Most of it's in, and then we'll have some things game planned for Ohio State too. So percentage-wise, just say most, I would say.
A firm most.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
All right, guys. Thank